Alright, this is the experiment 2 end of lab kind of test, I guess, to see if you can kind of do this on your own. So this is exactly the way that we would kind of give this to you in the lab. I would just give you some tools, and then without necessarily giving you all the instructions step by step, you have to use what you learned from your previous steps. So the best thing to kind of look at to figure out, like, how do I make my data, my table, what am I doing? The closest thing that we're doing in the simulation is what we did with the pellets of aluminum. So if you need something to copy and paste or something, copy and paste this table here, and then change your inputs, and follow the procedures that you did for this if you really need like a step-by-step for this. But how do I do this? So in order to find density, which I'm given the densities of each of these metals, so silver, rhodium, and platinum are given here. Grams per cubic centimeter, which is gram per milliliter. So I need two things. I need the mass in grams, and I need the volume in cubic centimeters or milliliters. So I need to first find the mass of my sample. So I'm going to get my balance out. And I'm never going to just pour anything on the balance. I'm going to grab a beaker. Let's just grab a 250 milliliter beaker. Now, you can place the beaker on the, so if you were following this exactly, you would write the mass of the empty beaker in your, 101.5153. Don't lose any of these numbers. But if you want to kind of do it your own way, you can tear this and make it 0. Either way. So if I tear this, notice when I take it off, it's negative. That means that the beaker now is 0. So anything I put in the beaker is going to get measured automatically. Like here we had to do some math. But the way that I'm doing it now, I don't really want to do that math. I'd rather have the balance do it for me. So I'm going to grab my first unknown, and I'm going to add it to the beaker. Now, this will add a lot or a little, so what I do is I kind of click it, and it tells me, oh, it transferred 11 grams. So I can transfer 11 grams, I can transfer a little bit more if I want to, sure, 10 more, so that's like 20-something grams. So this is, every time I click, how much it's adding. So 2 clicks, it should be about 20-something, right? So 22.4458 grams is how much I added. So I will go and I will write that down in my table of the mass of metal 1. So now I have this mass of metal 1, and maybe I want to kind of set this stuff aside so that I don't accidentally click on anything. And now I need the volume. So I can't really see, but there's stuff in here. I know that because when I weigh it, it's got a mass, right? So there's stuff in this beaker here. And so now I need to find the volume. So we're going to do the volume the same way. I would grab the 50 milliliter cylinder. We're going to do the volume the same way we did with the aluminum pellets. Grab some water. We're going to put some water into the cylinder and, just click it a couple times. Put in like there's 10. That's fine. And if you want to be able to read it, if you right click detail view, you can now read it. So I can say, oh, that's like 10 point, I think it's around the line, maybe 10.0 or 10 point, maybe a little bit above the line. You get to read that if you want, 10.5. Sure. So now I have this amount in here, and now I'm going to add, so that's going to be the initial volume of water. Now I'm going to add my metal, and I'm going to add all of it. So 0 transferred. So 1.05 was transferred, but I can't transfer any more because the source vessel does not have enough volume. That means that the beaker is empty, essentially. So no more is transferred. So it's giving me this like error because it's like you don't have any more to transfer. I poured everything in. So if I want to really check that, I can put back over here and I should see 0 grams. That means I put all the metal in the beaker in the cylinder. So now I'm going to read my cylinder. It's 11.6. So my volume is going to be 11.6 here. So beginning minus end, or end minus beginning, so final minus initial is the volume of your metal. So the mass of your metal divided by the volume of your metal should give you your density.